What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Yakuza Fan Podcast, episode 31 from May 17th, 2017. I'm your host, Deacon, and with me as is the current plan, is my darling brother, Lachlan. Lachlan, say hello.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
So again, we're coming to you through the magic of Discord. Hopefully this sounds okay. Let me know in the comments, and I will actively ignore them, but that's fine. I think that we should just jump right into it here and talk about what we've been doing this last week, what games we've been playing. Did we watch any cool new anime series? Because I'm pretty sure the answer is no. This topic is going to fly by. So, Lachlan, I don't think you've played too much this week. Why don't you give us a quick rundown on what you've set your mind to?
I've been barreling through Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin.
Weren't you doing that last time you were on here?
I don't think I'd started then.
Okay, there was talk about it.
Just afterwards.
It was a case of you'll either play Dark Souls 2 or you'll play Yakuza. I guess you went with the Dark Souls 2 route. I'm very disappointed.
It's a lot easier to play Scholar of the First Sin than it is to set up this PlayStation.
I thought you had one of the old fatty PlayStations, though you could play the PlayStation. Oh, yeah. You know what? I had one of those. It's dead as well. It's very disappointing. It was like the PlayStation 3 fat, like launch fat that played PS2 games was so good. Oh, I'd kill for another one of those.
Oh, that never got released here.
Really?
They didn't want to spring for the hardware that plays PS2 games, so they software emulated it and then patched that out in about 2 weeks.
Oh, that sucks. Seriously though, that fatty PS3 with the emulation was so good. I miss it. I if anyone knows, like, can get me a hookup, give me one of those fat PlayStation 3s, I will happily make a lot more Yakuza 2 videos until we get Kiwami 2, hopefully next year. Anyway.
You could just import that Japanese remake.
You know what? I do have the Yakuza 1 and 2 HD collection. They are awesome. I wish that would have come out over here. It's so disappointing.
I'm sure you could model through Yakuza 2 Japanese.
I know I could. It's surprisingly easy. Like, if anyone's looking to import a Yakuza game, except for the sub-stories, those are kind of a pain. There's lots of really good guides out there for it. But if you just want to play the campaign of an imported Yakuza game, it's literally a case of follow the pink dot on the map. And everything else is just easy. There might be like one point where it's, I don't know which way to go. Like, there's no dot. It's like, always head back to Serena or head to Apopo. It's one of those two options every single time. Anyway, so was there anything else you played this week?
I don't think so.
That's been literally it?
Yeah.
That's pretty disappointing.
I'm busy with uni work, and Dark Souls 2 is very engrossing.
Scholar of the First Sin has so many fucking bosses in it. I cannot believe how much there is to do in that game.
Yeah, it's getting used to the enemy changes.
Yeah.
I can't believe how bad the first few areas are for enemy sort of repositionings.
What got to me in that game was the aggro distance. Like, someone sees you from across the map and they don't stop following you. They don't have any cutoff point.
Yeah.
Like, Hades Tower of Flame is just awful for that.
Yeah, Hades Tower of Flame is the worst remake part of that entire game. And it boggles my mind. That's supposed to be that's maybe like Area 1?
That's like my favorite zone. Like, in base DS2, Hades Tower of Flame was like my favorite place to go. Like, I would always skip the Forest of Fallen Giants and go straight to Hades because I really enjoyed being in that area. And now it's like, I don't want to go there. There's too many fucking knights.
They all do friggin' lightning damage.
Oh, it's the worst. And then there's a dragon. No one's having a good time. Surrounded by people who probably want to kick my ass. Anyways, so that's it. Like, I know you've been catching the train to uni a lot lately. Have you been playing anything portable? Do you have a Switch yet?
I don't have a Switch. It's too expensive here.
Yeah, I'm waiting for something else to be released on that front myself.
It's friggin' 480 for the base system here.
I think it's nearly that here. I think it's 400 for the base system here, and like, the only game that I'm looking forward to it on the Switch right now is Splatoon 2. But even then, with Nintendo getting a paid online service, I'm kind of like, I I can probably wait on Splatoon 2. I don't care about it that much.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I really like Splatoon 1, but then I fell off of it, and...
That's just it. Splatoon 1, I just fell off super hard, and it's like, oh, I love this game so much, but... but everyone's got a Switch now. Like, there'll be more people to play Splatoon 2 with.
Yeah, but I mean, you still have to play Splatoon 2.
Yeah, but it's Splatoon 2. It's so good. It's the perfect summer game.
After falling off, I went back to it around a friend's place a couple months later, and went to the item shop, and it was 20 minutes of scrolling through text telling you what items have been unlocked from all the DLC Nintendo put in. I
mean, to be fair, it is pretty cool how much DLC they put in. Like, I feel like Nintendo and Sega have the most DLC, most of what they put out is like free, except for the Persona shit, but that's another story. But even the Yakuza games, they get a whole bunch of free DLC post-release, and most of the time it's pretty good. Like, I'm always up for like free costumes or like free items. Like, give it to me.
Yeah, I am too. I just don't want to have to sit through a slow-moving text scroll while they tell me everything about it.
Do you think that was a product of it was easier for them to create more stuff for Splatoon after they saw how popular it was? Like, they didn't have any plans going into like a Season 2, and they just went, well, shit, this is going really good. Maybe we should support this more. Like,
I think it was just probably easy for them to come up with slight tweaks on stats.
Maybe. I don't know. I like Splatoon. Again, if I've got any rich listeners out there that want to give me a Switch, I will play Splatoon 2 with you. We will get an Inkling party. It'll be so much fun. So yeah, you'd play nothing portable?
No, not in a few weeks.
Oh,
Playing Binding of Isaac a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's always evergreen.
That's a good ass game. I highly recommend Binding of Isaac. I've got my daughter playing that. Like, she's 9 and she is in love with Binding of Isaac. Every time like we get in the car, it's like, Dad, can I have your Vita? I want to sit down and play Binding of Isaac. It's like, I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Like, if you've got any questions about what you're seeing, just let me know. Dad, why is there a weird version of Isaac with a nail through his head?
Yeah, I mean, when you get to the womb, things start to get a little harder.
She's not that good.
You better hope so.
She's only hit the caves. I figure by the time she hits the lower levels of that game, I feel like she'll be old enough.
An unborn fetus?
It'll be fine. You know what? She played Super Meat Boy. There was a unborn fetus in that.
Yeah, he's in Isaac as well.
Great. That's what I want to hear.
He's a terrible upgrade, and then a really awesome upgrade once you finish his challenge.
Yeah, right now she's only playing like the base, like the first level, the basement, and then the caves, and then she always dies on the caves. It's unfortunate. I wish she was better, but one day she will get good. Okay, well,
get the right combo of items.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting it on the Switch, but then again, I feel like I don't need to rebuy that game when I haven't beat the Vita version yet.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Plus, I don't really want to borrow Cal's Switch, so I'll wait till I get my own. Anyways, so I'll just quickly run through what I've played this week. I tried to play some more of the Caligula Effect on the Vita. I am done with that game. I tried real hard. I wanted to review it for the channel. Like, I was going to do it as like one of our Club Sega reviews, like go through the game, give my honest opinion on it. I am so bored at this point that I cannot continue that game. I think I'm 5 hours in. I'm still in the first area, and I have no want to continue at all. It is just, I'm just ground to a halt. I hate the frame rate. I hate how boring every single character is. Like, everyone is just a trope, and not even like a good trope. They're all like the cookie cutter, basic, just shitty nothing. And I'm just, here's my review of the Caligula Effect. It fucking sucks. It may get better later, but where I am now, I have no want to finish it.
Yeah, so, it's hard to want to play weak Persona when Persona 5 exists.
That's just it. But not like, that brings me to the other thing that I'm playing. Like that, I have two portable games that are my go-to right now. One of them was the Caligula Effect, which again, fuck off. I'm not reviewing that. I actively disliked it. I make it a point not to give games a score unless I'm either beat it or close enough to the end that I can see it. You know what I mean? Like this one, I know that I am probably another 40 hours away from the end. And the idea of playing it any longer makes me want to drill a hole through my skull. That's how bored I am. So,
yeah, but trepanning.
Oh, dude, I don't care.
You can have a lot of fun with trepanning.
Oh, I don't care. Like, there are so many weird social links and just so many boring characters. Just the idea of continuing to play that game, like, makes me shudder. It makes me actively not want to pick up my Vita, which sucks because for me, the Vita is like the second Dreamcast. Like, more people should have picked it up. It's got some amazing niche games on it. But this is, like, not a good one.
It'll overheat and dislodge its own components.
Oh, I remember when that happened to our Dreamcast. We had to crack it open and push the things back into place. That was a good afternoon. We learned some things about the Dreamcast.
It happened to, like, 4 different Dreamcasts.
Yeah, well, it happens to every Dreamcast eventually. There is nothing worse than having the Dreamcast turn on and reset and having that fucking VMU beep sound cut in and out as it turns itself on and off. And then you finally fix it, turn it on and check your VMU, and because of all the starting and stopping, it's erased all your saves.
I'm so sad at the Dreamcast. I wish it was made better.
I wish the Dreamcast was out now. Like, yeah, that's my soapbox for the week. The PSP, or the Vita is the new Dreamcast. Everyone should buy one because it's fucking great. Like, that's one of those things that, in like, you know how, like, everyone now says, oh wow, the Dreamcast was so good, it was so ahead of its time, more people should have got it. That's how I feel like we're going to be talking about the Vita in, like, 5 years.
Yeah, so most of those Vita games are going to get ported to PS4, so... Yeah,
that's true. Anyway, so, to offset my hatred of the Caligula Effect, I have been playing on the 3DS Bye Bye Box Boy, which is the third in the Box Boy trilogy. It's only like $5, and it's just more Box Boy puzzles. There's the Q Babies now, which are just tiny little box boys that, like... do you remember that awesome Mario vs. Donkey Kong game on the GBA with the Mario Minis?
March of the Minis, or before it became Lemmings?
Before it became shitty. Like, it was the one where, like, Mario had, like, his entire moveset from Mario 64.
Yeah, Mario vs. Donkey Kong is the canonical sequel to Donkey Kong on the Game Boy.
Yes, that one. Just base Mario vs. Donkey Kong. The Q Babies remind me of the mini Marios from that game, where they just kind of follow you along and you have to lead them to their goal. I don't know. I love it. I just... Give me more Box Boy puzzles. I know this is the third in the trilogy. I don't know if there's ever going to be more. I would be hesitant if it came to the Switch to buy it again, but right now, I just love playing Box Boy. I 100% those games. They are... I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure because they're so good, but I just feel like every game it's like, okay, here's a brand new mechanic, and let's just build a world based on that. And just every single game they just throw in a new mechanic. And it's like, okay, now I'm playing Box Boy with this mechanic. There's more puzzles. It's fucking great. So, if you're looking for a weird niche Nintendo-made puzzle game, highly recommend the Box Boy series. Like, seriously check it out. Like, they're very slow. It's made by the studio that made Kirby.
That's HAL Labs, it's not Nintendo.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a Nintendo property. Like, they're
Box
first
Boy
party...
for Smash.
Yeah, dude, if Box Boy was in Smash, I'd be so happy. I can think of so many things that he could do with his boxes that would make cool moves.
Yeah, I mean,
again,
it will just be like his recovery would just be sending out boxes to grapple things.
That would be so cool. But like I said, there's so many weird puzzle elements that are in the games now that if you incorporated all of these different weird puzzle elements into a single character, like there could be some really amazing things that you could do with Box Boy. Like, just between throwing boxes at people and, like, you know, when you do, like, your heavy smash attack, he, like, rockets out a box, like, super hard. Like, Dude, you make me want to play Smash with Box Boy.
Yeah.
Have you ever played any of the Box Boy games?
I 100% of the first one.
Yeah.
And got super frustrated by the end because I did it in a day. It's too much.
You're playing it the wrong way. You've got to pick
Don't play Box Boy in a single day. It will kill your enthusiasm for any more Box Boy.
See, I disagree. I can play those in a single sitting if I wanted to, but I know that like these are my games. They're my comfort food games. If I just want to sit down, chill out. Usually I get really frustrated at puzzle games, but Box Boy, for whatever reason, is just, I'm chilled out. I'm sitting there just solving these tiny little puzzles. I love the little costumes the Box Boy gets. Fuck the rabbit costume. That is game breaking. Like, do not use the rabbit. And there's another one that...
Is that speed or jumping?
No, the rabbit lets you jump extra high, which negates half of the puzzles. There's another one that gives you an extra box, no matter what. Like, you just get an extra box to use. And any level that is designed around having a set number of boxes is completely ruined by it. So, if you're playing Box Boy and you're not playing it just straight vanilla, there is two ways to play that game. You play it with just as normal Box Boy, or in the Golden Crown costume, like the Golden God costume.
Yeah, I think I was using the rabbit one for a while, and I was like, oh yeah, this breaks the game.
Yeah, it's really bad. Okay.
By that point, I was like...
At that point, why am I playing it?
Oh yeah, I was just like... I was like 6 worlds in, and I was like, I just want this over with.
Oh no, that's the worst way to play it. But like, I get so into Box Boy, like, if you go onto the Box Boy 1 or 2 Miiverse, half of those posts are me helping players who are stuck trying to get things. Like, I actively participate in the Box Boy Miiverse community. I put on the full golden, like, I beat the game 100% costume. And then I go in and post screenshots of how to get, like, the hardest to get crowns. That's where I'm at with my Box Boy addiction. I'm actively helping other people. So...
it has the same problem with a lot of Nintendo things for me, where it drags on, and when you think it's finally over... You unlock challenge worlds that are like twice as long as the base game.
Dude, I love it. I 100%ed them.
Like, well, yeah, I did for the first one, but it was just like, I don't care about these challenge worlds. But then, like, Super Mario 3D World did the exact same thing. We get to the final world, and surprise, here's 4 more worlds.
Is that the one on the Wii U, or is that the one on the 3DS?
Well, they both did it, but 3D World was worse.
Okay. Again, which one's which?
3D World is the Wii U version because it's big, it's a world.
Okay.
3D Land is the 3DS version.
Of course. I forgot they did that. They did that with Donkey Kong on the Game Boy Color too, right?
Donkey Kong Land and Country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it.
Mario World and Land. I want more Mario Land because that series is weird. It's like a giant robot Mario in one of them for no reason.
That's...
made of Lego blocks.
Is that Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins?
Yeah.
Dude, that game is so good. I still play that game.
It's great. It's weird.
It's very weird.
It's got the best rendition of Wario.
I totally agree. Like, that game made me fall in love with the character of Wario. And then, I don't know. Everyone can go play Mario Land too. Anyway, so we're like 20 minutes in and we're bouncing between topics here. So let's go back. Let me wrap up what else I've been playing this week. So, besides Bye Bye Box Boy and swearing off the Caligula effect, you know what? If in like 5 months, if a Caligula effect review just pops up, you'll know I've gone back to it. But right now, Outlook not so good. What else have I been playing? So I've also been playing Night in the Woods. Fantastic. I think it's indie, but just a fantastic game, especially if you're like a mid-20s, like just going back to your small town where nothing ever happens. Like it's so hard to talk about without kind of spoilering it. It's just
Clerks of Cat People video games.
It feels a lot like Clerks. Like it feels like coming home. Like the main character like drops out of college, comes back home. Like everything is the same but different. and like your friends have moved on, but then you showing back up starts getting them back in some of their old habits, but it's like not everything is the way that you remember it. So I don't know. I've been playing that. I really like it. I don't know whether you. I don't know. It's hard to recommend because it elicits such a specific mood. I will say that there is something possibly beneath the surface of the town that you need to play to find out, and then once you start putting the pieces together, it's like oh, which is really cool. But I don't know. I really like it. It's a very slow story game though. The other game that I played, and I don't think I talked about this last week, was What Remains of Edith Finch. Did I talk about that game?
I don't think so.
I can't remember. I'll go over it briefly just in case I did. What Remains of Edith Finch is by the guys that made The Unfinished Swan. It is anyone would refer to it as a walking simulator. Basically, you play as this girl. She comes back to her house from her weirdo family, and you just kind of walk around the house and discover what happened to each member of the family. So, like, each of their rooms have been left exactly the way that they were when they lived in it. And you go into each person's room, and then when you're in the room, you go into like a small vignette of the final moments of that person's life. Like the final like 5-10 minutes of how that person died. And you just kind of go through the motions of what led to that person, becoming deceased. It's extraordinarily sad. Like there is, I will say, and anyone who's played this will get this, Gregory is maybe the saddest thing that I've ever played in a video game. Like, it had me bawling for like 20 minutes or more. I don't know, that just maybe it's because I don't want to say anymore. Just buckle up. Like, if you've played that game, you know what I'm talking about. It is a gut punch. It's only like a couple of hours long though, and again, it's a walking simulator, so I think a slightly reduced price would probably go a long way towards that. Like, I think that $10 might be the better price for that game, just because it's kind of a singular experience. It's something that I think is going to stay with me for a long time. Like, I'm still thinking about that moment, but price-wise, it was a little more than what I think it might be worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird for walking simulators because, like, I don't know, how long was it? Like 2-3 hours?
Yeah, about 3 hours.
Like, a 3-hour movie, that's fine, and you would probably watch that again.
Yeah, whereas I have no real want to go and play this again. Like, dude, I am not kidding. I cried for like, it was definitely longer than like 20 minutes. Like, it was just heart-wrenching. And, I mean, I guess, was that experience worth it? I don't know.
But, like, for a walking simulator game, it's just, walk around, things happen. There's something less interesting about wanting to replay that than just wanting to watch a movie.
Very true. There is a lot of things that it does to kind of like change gameplay styles. Like,
Is there puzzles or
no? Like, not really. It's just literally just narration and cool things that just change as you play the game. I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it. I liked the story that it told. The house is maybe one of the best environments I've ever seen, and like, if that game was ever out in VR, that is the way that I would play it again, because it's set up so perfectly and everything is so detailed. Like there's pictures everywhere and like just little tiny trinkets, and all of the house feels so lived in and interconnected. And like, if I could experience that in VR, it would be amazing. So, Edith Finch, check it out. Maybe wait for a price drop on that. Okay, this is the last game that I've been playing, I promise. It's been a very busy week for me. I've been slowly working my way through... now, Lachlan, you might have to help me with the pronunciation of this. Utaware Rumono, Mask of Deception. Now, is that the right pronunciation? Because my Japanese sucks, as we all know.
It's pretty close.
Okay.
Utaware Rumono. Yeah.
Utaware Rumono. It's a I mean, I would say it's a cross tactical RPG and visual novel. Right now, I'm about 4 hours in, and I have done only 3 tactical RPG fights, and they've all been tutorial stuff. Like, there's been no challenge. It's been extraordinarily basic. They do not hold your hand through these fights. It's fun. I really like the story. The crux of the game so far just seems to be the visual novel. Like, I am so just going through a visual novel for hours, and it's on the Vita, it's on the PS4. I feel like if you're going to get the Vita version, because I'm playing it on PS4. Being tied down to my PS4 trying to play this has been difficult. I find myself nodding off. Not in a bad way, but it's like, when you read a book before bed? Like, I always do my gaming right before I'm about to go to sleep. And I'll sit there and I'll play for, half an hour or an hour before bed. And then I'll just kind of nod off and that'll be my day. When I read, though, like, my brain just does this thing where it's like a switch goes off. And it's like, oh, you read more than a paragraph of text. It's time to go to sleep. We're shutting things down here. Like, your legs are now asleep. Don't try and get up again. My body just gives up.
Yeah, it's a thing with reading. That's why you read before bed. It's like put you into sort of a sleepy state.
Yeah, like a I don't know, whatever the hell it's called.
With an action game, you really work it out your brain and your fingers.
Yeah,
whereas
exactly.
This is just reading.
Yeah, and I am not joking. I have gone an hour and a half between battle sequences. Like, every single battle, and the battles only last like 5 minutes. And there's no consequence to failing them. If you mess up at any time, you can press the undo button and just roll back your turns to where you fucked up. Oh yeah, there is no consequence to battle. It is just there for you to go through. It is mostly a visual novel first. Like, unless something's going to happen. That's not a bad thing, though. It's really good. Like, I really like the characters. I like the way it all unfolds. I love the fact that the entire thing is voice acted. Like, every single line of dialogue. I'm, again, 4 hours in. And every single line has been voice acted, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop. Like, it's all voice acted in Japanese, which is, but I don't know. I find it kind of impressive. The music's good. The visuals are good. I don't know. I'll probably end up reviewing it for the channel here, just because I've got it and I'm enjoying it, and I kind of want to see where the plot goes. It's very engaging with its plot. I just wish I had it on the Vita. But yeah, so that's basically my impressions of that. Utawaru Ramono. I don't know. Utawaru. Just look up Mask of. Look up Mask of Deception. That's that's an easier way to find it. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Okay. I think
they wanted a Japanese name to tell you it was a Japanese game, and probably some kind of visual novel anime thing. They also wanted you to be able to easily tell to other people, so it's got the subtitle of Mask of Deception.
Yeah. I think it is like a long-running franchise game. Like, it's one of those ones that predates the PlayStation 2, I think. Like, it came out on PC first as just a normal visual novel, and now it's coming out, on the PS4 and the Vita. But I think that it's a long-running thing. I don't think it's something that's... I don't think it's a sequel. I think it's just, here's another game set in that world. Or maybe a retelling.
In the same game, yeah.
I don't know.
A few of them like that. What's it called? Luna, the Silver Star Saga?
Yeah.
That game keeps being remade. Weird ways.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like it's maybe a new game in the series that's not connected to anything else, but they really like that world. It's like, hey, we had all these assets, why not make a game? The one thing I'm a little bit hesitant at is, like, according to Sega's press release email, this is like a 40-hour game. If it's 40 hours of nothing but text, that might get a little long. The thing that I'm really concerned about, though, is that this is already set as a prequel. Like, it is a 2-game series. So, I'm doing all this. I'm going into this game knowing that it's not the end. Once I reach that 40-hour ending, in 6 months I pick up the sequel to see how the story finishes. Which, I don't know whether it's good knowing that it's coming, or I don't know. Maybe I'm happier knowing that I'm getting the sequel. Like I feel like I would be kind of pissed if I got to the end and I was like, oh, to be continued. It's like, what the fuck? At the same
if it's going to end on a cliffhanger, then at the very least you know that there's a sequel coming.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'd be kind of pissed if they just were like at the last second, surprise, here's the ending. Depending on the sales of this, you might get the next game. Because I really don't see this game selling particularly well. Which, again, it's a shame. If you're into visual novels, it's really good. The tactical RPG stuff is very reminiscent for me of like Final Fantasy Tactics. It is extraordinarily bare bones. I really like it, but I'm not a big tactical RPG guy. Like most of the time, I don't like those kinds of games. So
I like them when they're easy.
Well,
Tactics Advanced games.
Well, then you know what?
Tactics Advanced?
Then allow me, sir, to introduce you to Utawara Ramono's Mask of Deception. Because that may be the easiest tactical RPG I've ever played in the 3 battles over 4 hours that I've played. I don't know. Right now, I'm liking it. That's my impressions. I think it comes out at the end of the month. I'm hoping to get my review out by the time the game launches, but that all depends. I'm still working my way through Persona 5. I'm planning on reviewing that game too. Here's my impressions of that. Persona 5 is fucking great. Go buy it. I will give a proper review when I'm done. But right now, go buy Persona 5. Because it's fucking fantastic. That's the last game that I've been playing on the list. Holy shit. I think this might be a new record of 31 minutes of just going through the stuff that we played this week. Like, it has been a busy week for me. Like, the Japocalypse continues of cool stuff to play. Okay, so before we move on, is there anything else that you've done this week? Anything cool happening that... Not really?
I can't think of anything.
No, fair enough. Okay, so...
Oh, wait.
Okay.
I did play something else. I forgot.
Oh my god, okay.
I tried out the gender swap mode in Shovel Knight.
Is it any good?
It's fine. It's playing Shovel Knight again with some slightly altered sprites.
Is that literally it? Like, can every character be swapped?
Yes, it has a menu that you can access pretty much at any time.
That's kind of cool.
You can choose who to swap and which pronouns they use.
That's really cool. Like, it's pointless, but at the same time, I love the fact that they give you that option. Like, why not?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Then it's just like, well, Shovel Knight is just like, slightly feminine.
Yeah.
It's just like a slight flares to the armor. So.
Oh, okay. So like they pop the chest plate a little bit.
Yeah, they like flare the hips, that kind of stuff. They shorten down the Shovel Knight's horns.
They put a bow in his horns. Okay. So Shovel Knight, you know what? Shovel Knight's great. Go pick that up too. Like, there's so many good games out right now. Like, I'm so glad that we're finally, like, everything's calming down a little bit. Like, we've got Kiwami coming out, like, I think in August. That's a budget game. That game's only $30 or $40, whatever it is. Like, I can't believe that. Get your pre-orders in for Kiwami. You know what? I'm going to put my Amazon affiliate link in the description below. Everyone click through that link to get me Amazon purchases. Okay. And then I'm going to use that money to buy myself Kiwami as well. So that wraps it up for what we've been playing this week. Again, this may be the longest one we've ever done. So let's jump into Yakuza news. This works out well because this may be the shortest one we've ever done. Except for there's no news this week. Now let's talk about something else. There is 2 pieces of news this week. And one of them isn't even about Yakuza specifically. So basically, there was a conference at GDC this week, and this is up on the site. This isn't even particularly Yakuza-related news. It is more... Oh, sorry, it's Yakuza-related news. It's nothing about the new game. There's no new revelations. But let me see if I'm going to try and pronounce this guy's name. It's going to be a little bit tricky, though. Zhong Shenlin gave a speech at GDC about localization for an Asian market, where Sega released Yakuza 6 in Japan, and in the Japanese version, there is a hostess, a Taiwanese hostess called Sora. And basically, while Kiryu is talking to her, she brings up the idea of... She asks Kiryu, you know, it's Yakuza, you get the questions from the hostesses and you have to pick the responses. So she brings up, hey, what do you think about the country of Taiwan? And it's just supposed to be, you know, like a conversation piece, nothing crazy. Like that's the whole question. What do you think of the country of Taiwan? Well, people in Taiwan that imported that game saw that question and were like, holy shit, Sega's taking a stance. Taiwan is under Chinese rule, and while they consider themselves a country, China sure as shit doesn't consider them a country. So when they see Sega including the phrase country of Taiwan in their game, people started freaking out in Taiwan, saying that Sega's on their side, this is amazing. Then people in China got wind of people in Taiwan talking about how great Sega was, and they started commenting on it, saying that this is disgusting. How can they do this? We need to take a stance against Sega. So Sega, of course, they weren't trying to take a stance on anything. They just subtly rolled out a patch that just got rid of the word country. And now it just says, what do you think of Taiwan? And now everybody's angry. That's basically it. Lachlan, any questions?
I don't know enough about the Chinese rule of Taiwan.
That's basically it. They rule Taiwan. Taiwan wants independence. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So people are angry. I'm probably wrong about all of that. Yeah, if I'm wrong, leave a comment and let me know. Because I will happily correct myself, but you know what? I'm just one man. What can I do? And that was mostly it for Yakuza specifically related news. Okay, there was one more thing, but there's a couple of other little things that I want to get through first before we get there. First up, earlier this week, I released my Should Yakuza 7 Leave Japan video. And again, the response has been amazing. I'm loving this these long-form questions, like interacting with the fan community, getting your guys' feedback on, you know, what you guys think should be next for the series. I'm in the middle of writing another one right now that I'm really excited for. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So, I posed the question, should Yakuza 7 leave Japan? Should the next game be set outside of Japan? Lachlan, I didn't get any real input from you on this, so what do you think? Do you think the game should leave Japan? If you do, where do you think it should go?
I think it'd be interesting. The problem is, like, at least that as I see it, is like you either do some kind of token Kiryu goes overseas for a mission or whatever, and then just have like a small gameplay segment there.
Yeah.
Kind of the core of the series is look at this detailed, you know, small neighborhood.
Very true. And you got to remember, Yakuza 6, we're getting a whole new protagonist. Like, allegedly. Again, I'm really concerned that they're going to go, oh, well, it was actually either it was Kiryu all along, or let's tell you the story of what Kiryu did directly after Yakuza 0. I'm really hoping we get a new protagonist, though. I'm ready for a bit of a change. Like, I think that Kiryu needs to be put out to pasture. Let's change protagonist for Yakuza 6. Yakuza 7, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's also weird because, like, I feel like they've had multiple protagonists for a long time now.
Did
6 have multiple protagonists?
No, 6 was just Kiryu. Like, 6 has this weird problem where they wanted to wrap up Kiryu's story. They wanted to make the new Dragon engine, and I'm kind of reiterating stuff that I've said in my review already, but you can feel how much must have been cut to try and work within those restraints. Um,
I'm wondering if have the singular protagonist is a restriction of having to build a new engine.
I don't think it is. And here's why. Kiryu is still... They wanted to wrap up Kiryu's story, and I think that if they would have included multiple protagonists in the finale of Kiryu's story, it would have taken away from the focus on him. Just from a story perspective. I don't think... personally, if it was Kiryu's last story, and at some point I cut away and started playing as Akiyama, I would actively dislike that. Like, I want to follow Kiryu through to the end. By the end of that game, I wanted to feel like we've had this one last adventure together. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want I don't want side characters. I just want me and Kiryu solving this mystery. Now, every other Yakuza game has been what 20 hours long ish, between 20 and like 40 hours long. All the way I play them 20 and 60 hours long. Yakuza 6 was only, I think, at most 15 hours long. It is not a very long game.
That's real short.
It's really short. There's all the side stuff to do. Don't get me wrong. There's a bunch of side stuff to do. Like that, I think that the story was just a little bit lacking as well. Like for the final game in Kiryu's arc, there was so much kind of just put to the side. Like it's like, hey, let's go on this one last adventure with Kiryu. By the way, that we have 10 years of plot and characters. Fuck all that though. Here's the new cast. It's like, like, what happened to all of these side characters I've been building relationships with for the last 10 years? Like, Haruka's in a coma, so she's out. The most of the cast of the Tojo clan is out. Like, they're just not present. This isn't a story about them, but it's like, I know it's not a story about them, but at the same time, this is Kiryu's final chance to have an adventure with them. It felt so weird. Like
it's a weird kind of idea.
Yeah, and for me, it didn't. I wanted it to hit more. I wanted it to be a little bit more emotional than it actually ended up being.
Yeah.
So,
well, compare that to like Metal Gear Solid 4, which is Solid Snake's final chapter.
Yeah, where everything comes back.
Yeah, I don't particularly like the gameplay in 4. Mm-hmm. But that story is just, let's have everything come back.
Yeah.
And try and wrap up as much as we can.
Exactly. That's perfect. That's what I wanted. Again, I don't particularly like the gameplay of MGS4, but the way that they wrapped every little thing up was amazing. The way weird side characters show up. But it's like, Yakuza 6, you see Majima at the start of the game, and then you see him in the car at the end of the game. And I'm sorry, I know that's spoilers, but he doesn't do anything. Like, he's not teased. Like, there's no moment in the game where you're sitting there going, oh wow, I can't believe this shit happened. Is Majima going to show up? No. He's just not there. He's just gone. And it was so disappointing for how, like, they made him a protagonist in 2 games. Like, he's in Dead Souls and Yakuza 0. He's a big deal. And he's just not there. So, it was so disappointing. But, again, it's a fun game. I liked it. At the end of the day, it's still, it's still a really good game. The Dragon Engine alone makes that game worth playing. It's so much fun, and I'm so hyped for the next in that series to play around in that engine. I think if anyone who hasn't checked out Yakuza 6 yet, and you've got a Chinese, Hong Kong, or Japanese PlayStation account, I'm pretty sure the demo is still available, and it's like the entire first hour of the game. It really, like, it lets you play around like almost everywhere in Kamurocho. Not everything is available to play in, but it gets you into that engine. It lets you level up your character. It's really good. I highly recommend checking out the demo for 6 if it's still available. Going back to the topic though of should Yakuza 7 leave Japan, do you think setting it in another Asian city, like that, they've been really pushing hard lately to expand into the greater Japanese or the greater Asian market. Like they want to get this into the hands of Chinese players, of Taiwanese players, just those of Korean players especially. those markets have been kind of opening up lately. And so, especially in 6, they started putting in mixed race characters. They started pointing out, making the Chinese mafia more of a threat. It really feels like they might go towards more Asian cities. Do you think that it would work? Do you think there's any good places where they could go?
I don't know enough about like the greater Asian area.
Fair enough. He could go to they could go to Hong Kong and fight some smog.
Yeah, like Seoul, I guess. I don't know a lot of what's in Korea.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think that I don't know. I'm in two minds about it. As I was saying in my video, for me, the perfect thing would be 2 protagonists, one from another country that has to come to Kamurocho, and then something happens then, and the new protagonist has to go over to the other country, and they have to do like a little bit of a crisscross at some point. I would be happy with that. That or just expand Kamurocho, like bring that out like another 2 blocks. Like there's so many cool things around Kamurocho that could be brought into the game. I would be down for that.
Yeah, I mean, you're just expanding the city. Like, whilst it would be good, it doesn't feel, new.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think the Dragon Engine gives it a little bit better. Like, it makes the city feel new again. But once you get the layout of it, it's like, oh, this is just the same city with a few extra shortcuts, and now I can go inside some buildings. And Kamurocho Hills is blocked off unexplainably.
Like they're doing construction work.
The reason that they give...
Please understand.
No. The reason that they give for Kamurocho Hills being blocked off is because there was something happened in the sewer, and the whole thing got flooded. Which sounds throwaway, until you remember that there's an entire underground gambling den, and Kage lives down there. Like, they flooded Purgatory. Like, and then they're just like, oh yeah, it's just flooded. Like, they don't draw attention to the Purgatory was flooded. It's just like, oh no, the sewer got flooded. You can't go over here right now. Oh,
it's all foreshadowing.
I fucking hope so. This is what I'm talking about, where major characters and locations they're just not there. Like, you never go, like, spoilers, you never go to Purgatory in Yakuza 6. There's no gambling in Yakuza 6. Like, isn't that fucking weird?
It's weird.
Yeah.
The underground fight arena is still there?
No. The arena's gone too. Like,
they had like a full gladiator arena down there.
Yeah. But that's just it. Like, there's all these things that are just missing from the game, and it's, I don't want to get on the Yakuza 6 hate wagon because I really, really like Yakuza 6, but damn, it felt like it was lacking. Anyways. So, geez, let's blow through to the final thing here. So, SEGA, Western SEGA put out a strategic plan, a promise to consumers about what they were going to be doing in the next coming months, coming years. And one of the things that they promised was a revival of dormant and popular IPs. So, or a revival of major IPs, I should say, where they promised to revitalize old franchises, to bring things back that people haven't seen in a while. I'm all for this. They call out Yakuza as an example of something that they've revitalized recently, which is fantastic. And so if they're putting that on there as a talking point of something that they've done that was successful, that just proves how good Yakuza 0 performed in the West. So, my question to you, Lachlan, and the question for the audience too, let us know this in the comments. If you could have SEGA revive, let's go 3 IPs that they haven't done anything with for years, what would they be? So I figured for this, we could go back and forth, Lachlan, and just talk about the games that we want to see, and just give a brief description about them and what we would like to see from them. So do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay. I like that. It's ballsy. So, Lachlan, what SEGA IP would you like to see them bring back?
I want to see a new Golden Axe.
Why? I gotta ask.
Whilst I'm not a huge fan of the original Golden Axe,
Okay.
and less of, I don't know, there's... Well, Golden Axe is such a weird series. I think there's a... I can't remember if there's a Golden Axe 2.
Okay.
Then there's an arcade-only Golden Axe 2 that's like 1,000 times better that never got released anywhere else.
Okay. Now, can I download this on MAME and play it there?
Oh, you probably could, yeah.
Perfect.
It's got like a centaur woman with a American Gladiator, staff with the two like things at the end.
I thought I did, but now I'm not so sure. That description was fucking awful.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. Pugilist sticks, I think.
Oh my god, you know the name. Okay.
But no, like,
Pugilist stick. Okay.
No other franchise at the moment has that's kind of sword and sandal kind of thing. Kind of like Barbarians.
Oh, okay. There's no good, almost D&D-esque side-scrolling beat 'em up. You know
I don't even need it to be a beat 'em up.
what would you have it be?
Well, I mean, like Yakuza is kind of, a new beat 'em up kind of thing.
Yeah,
Get experience, you fight people in the streets.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like if they use the Dragon Engine to make a new Golden Axe game.
And that world is surprisingly weird when you think about the things that are in the original Golden Axe.
Oh, you mean like the chicken scorpions?
The chicken scorpions, the show up in Altered Beasts, so crossover with there.
Oh, dude, I forgot they were in both of them. That's I wonder what those things are called. I bet you they're like some kind of weird Sega reference. I'm gonna look that up later.
It's what's it called? There's like a level that takes place on the back of a giant eagle, and it's never talked about at all.
It's never explained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's a city on the back of a giant turtle that it just floats around, and there's like a level.
Like I said, I think if you use... I was at first thinking maybe a little bit more character action, but now I'm thinking, like I said, Dragon Engine. Like if you take the Dragon Engine and use it to make a fantasy style world and like have like a 3D brawl 'em up Golden Axe, like I don't know whether you could do multiplayer in it, but dude, that could actually work pretty well. Okay, so let me take a shot at this here. The game that I would like to see Sega bring back, like this, I'm going to go from my least wanted to most wanted. So the first one on my list here is Alex Kidd. Alex Kidd was just one of those games that I played for the first time on the Master System, and then we owned a copy of it, Alex Kidd and the Enchanted Castle on the Mega Drive. There's nothing more fun to me than the Alex Kidd games. I don't know what it is, like those levels where you're on like the little pocket bike and you have to go through it, and then you're on the little gyrocopter. They fill me with such pure joy. At the end of each stage, where he sits down and eats a giant like rice ball, or
it's a hamburger in some games.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he eats a hamburger in maybe the Western versions, but I love that animation. That there's something just so quaint about those games that I really wish they'd bring back. Give me back that Jenkins system. It is so unfair and broken, but I absolutely love it. Like Jenkins in those games has always been like I don't know if it's completely random, but I've always felt like it cheated.
You're just gonna get that thing that lets you read their thoughts.
Yeah, that thing's great. But yeah, for me, it's Alex Kidd. I've always been a fan of that guy, of that series. Bring that back. Let me play another Alex Kidd. I don't need it to be remade with like crazy 3D graphics. Do what they did with the new Monster. Was it Monster Boy?
Wonder Boy 3.
Wonder Boy. Yeah, Wonder Boy. The new Wonder Boy 3. Like, just give me a side-scrolling Alex Kidd game with those style graphics. Dude, I'd play that. That's what I want. I want bring back Alex Kidd, Sega. Like, just give it to me. Okay, so next up, Lachlan.
Oh, well, speaking of Wonder Boy, I want more Wonder Boy.
Okay, but that's not a dead franchise. That's back. You got your wish. It's happening. Like we one just released, and there's another one coming out soon.
Yeah, but they're all based on Wonder Boy 3.
You want like a new Wonder Boy.
I want Wonder Boy 5.
Is that?
I can't remember. There's too many. I can't remember which one's which.
Do you want?
I think it's 5 is the best one.
Okay, but do you want a remake, or would you rather them like make a new one?
I would rather a new one.
Yeah, same.
But with those systems. Like,
No.
because Wonder Boy 3 has like you gotta transform into animals to get over obstacles,
Yeah.
whereas 5 is like I guess gear based. Like,
Okay.
you get swords, you get shields.
Yeah. But can you still turn into monsters in that? I can't remember.
No, they took that out.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Man, Wonder Boy is such a good game series. Go check that out. If anyone hasn't played a Wonder Boy game, go grab the new one from the PlayStation Network.
Skip the first two.
Yeah, those are awful.
Get either that remake of Dragon's Trap or go on the PS3 and download Wonder Boy and Monster World.
Okay, so my next game on the list that I would like to see them bring back, Burning Ranges. That game never got enough love. I always thought the idea of just being just a normal like firefighter. I know that they use like silly robot suits and water cannons and all that shit, but at the end of the day, that game is just about fighting the fire, and it's kind of arcadey. And I think that having a new game in that series could be a lot of fun. Like I'm trying to think of how you would structure it. I don't know whether I want something where like I think here's what I want. You play as the Burning Ranges. You start at the ground floor of a skyscraper that's on fire. You work your way to the top, and crazy situations happen along the way. Like you introduce like a weird enemy that's setting things alight. Like have weird stage obstacles that maybe someone set up. But I think that Burning Ranges was such an interesting concept that never got as much recognition as it needed. So, give me back some Burning Ranges. Lachlan.
Next game.
Next game.
This one's a weird one.
Okay.
I want Landstalker back.
Now, that was Climax. That wasn't Sega.
Yes, but here's where it gets weird.
Okay.
That's also part of the Shining series.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
The very first game, Shining in the Darkness,
Yeah.
is a combo between Climax Entertainment and Camelot Software Planning.
Okay.
Also known as the guys that did Golden Sun and Mario Tennis.
No. I know this. Mario Tennis is like my favorite sports RPG of all time. Now, where does Sega fit into this?
I believe they they published and owned the rights to the Shining series.
Okay, that makes sense.
So Shining in the Darkness, and then Shining Force, Shining Soul, which is that one that Suda51 worked on for some reason.
Okay. I honestly don't know whether at this point, is Climax even still around?
I'm pretty sure Climax is defunct, or at the very least someone took their name and is working on a different Climax
Okay. You know what?
Studios.
I don't disagree with you. I want a new Landstalker as well. We got Lady Stalker on the PlayStation 3, I think. Did you ever play that one?
Lady Stalker is a Super Nintendo game that is, I think, a weird turn-based RPG that only came out in Japan.
I am fairly certain.
You might be thinking of Climax Landers.
No, I am. Hold on a second.
Stalkers.
Hold on. Lady Stalker. I gotta look this up now, everybody. Lady Stalker. PS3? Dude, there was a pseudo sequel to Landstalker where you play as a girl. I don't remember what the fuck it's called.
It's called Lady Stalker, but it's on the Super Nintendo.
I am telling you that I own Lady Stalker on the PlayStation 3. I'm now bringing up my purchases because I need to know how crazy I am. Like
I've never heard of this. I may have gone crazy.
I am looking this up right now. God damn, it says that it doesn't exist. Don't do this to me. I have it. God damn it. I own the game. Does it
Yeah,
have...
Climax Landers or Time Stalkers on the Dreamcast
No.
cemented the relationship between Landstalker and the Shining series.
No. Look, I am telling you right now. Dude, this is going to bug the shit out of me. I'm going to be thinking about this all night. And as soon as we're done, I'm going to find it. I'm going to go boot up my PlayStation and find this. But everyone else that's listening to this isn't going to know until next week what it was called. They're probably all screaming at me in the comments right now. Okay, hold on. Landstalker sequel. Oh, dude, what was it called? This makes me so mad.
I don't think it exists.
Dude, there totally is. Don't you do this to me. Screw you. What the hell is it called? Oh. Okay, this isn't coming to me. This is going to take some more research. I'm so mad that this exists.
Unfortunately, I guess the Shining series is still kind of going.
Yeah.
They keep getting more and more anime.
Okay, this is going to continue to bug me.
I've
got a list up now of every PlayStation 3 purchase I've ever made. I'm looking so hard for this. I need to know what it's called.
It didn't happen.
It happened, man. I've got it sitting here. I boot up my PlayStation and every time it's sitting there underneath Minecraft. Dude, what is it called? I know it exists. I'm not crazy. Oh, no. No. Okay, well, you know what? This is going to be something that we're going to look into next week. Prepare for that. This is going to come back around, and I'm going to tell you guys what the hell this game was called.
Well, if you can give me a sequel...
I don't know. I thought it was Lady Stalker. Apparently I've been living a lie this whole time.
Yeah, well, if you could uncover a sequel that I've never heard of,
I am telling you,
I'd be super grateful.
I am telling you, this game exists and it's on the PlayStation, and I don't remember what it's called. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you. Like it. Oh, I'm so mad that I don't remember what this thing's called. Like, at all. Hold on. Okay, I give up. I don't want to search anymore because I'm not finding anything. But I'm telling you it exists, and I will find it, and you will be ashamed of your words and deeds. So, okay, Landstalker. That's a good game. Everyone go check out Landstalker. I wholeheartedly agree. Although I find the I maintain that that's a Climax game. That's not a Sega game. I feel like you're
Okay, well, I have a backup here just in case you thought that way.
Okay. So what's your
Do you
backup?
want to do yours next one first?
Sure, because you know what? I want to add one more to the list after this. Okay, the one that I want to make a return more than any other game right now is Samba de Amigo. I love that game. It is my favorite... Okay, it's not my favorite music rhythm game, but it's my favorite arcade music rhythm game. Like, favorite music rhythm game is, Guitar Man. Guitar Man's hands down my favorite music rhythm game. Samba de Amigo? Don't you me? Don't you shame me? First of all, screw you. That game is awesome. And when I'm sitting around playing Rap Rabbit, you will eat those words and be ashamed of your words and deeds.
You didn't even like Rap Rabbit.
I don't. It looks bad. But Samba de Amigo is just... That's the last game where I feel like Sega was its most weird. Like, where it just... Like, it just threw so many visuals at you and had so much weird DLC. Like, I remember Samba de Amigo version 2000. So many free DLC songs. So many good times playing that game. And, like, there is nothing more satisfying than when you're using the maracas and you strike a pose. But, like, the way that it leads up to that, like, because it'll go, hey, 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 and then you strike a pose and it goes, and it's just, oh. And then the screen will just orgasm with colors. It's amazing. Somebody Amigo, for me, has the best presentation of any music rhythm game I've ever played. Like, it's the world makes me happy that it exists, let alone the music. I think that the music is really good, especially like all the salsa and the shit like that. I love that. But the world that they created, like this weird, crazy, colorful world where the sun is the main character's head sometimes, is amazing. So somebody Amigo, bring that back. I do
like that Pose character had a name.
Really? What was his name?
I think it's like Pose-kun or something.
Pose-kun? Okay, I'm gonna get a tattoo of Pose-kun. I'm gonna get a tattoo of Pose-kun doing the make contact gesture. That's my new goal in life.
The problem with Somebody Amigo is a lot of the best songs were not in the bass, like, samba style music. It was all like Open Your Heart and fucking Muddy Muddy Bus Tones.
That stuff was good, but again, I find it secondary to the game. Like,
Real Big Fish.
Somebody Amigo on the Wii has like the weakest set list, and that is still a fucking joy to play. Like, it's just so much fun to just play Somebody Amigo. Like, I don't know, I love it. Like, bring me back Samba. Okay, but before we get to your one, let me give my quick honorable mention here, okay? Where the fuck is Jet Set Radio? How do we not have a re-release of Jet Set Radio Future on anything? How do we not have Jet Set Radio 3 in the works? Like, those games are ripe at this point. Like, there is so much fan nostalgia around those right now. It's rivaling Shenmue for popularity. Like, I don't understand how we don't have Jet Set Radio 3 or Jet Set Radio Future on anything. Like, that makes no sense to me. Sega, bring it back.
That seems like one of the most likely ones to bring back.
I think so too. I think we'll see a release of Jet Set Radio Future fairly soon.
It's the easiest one. It's the most stylish. You just make new characters. Have Old Man beat.
You know what? Sega or Xbox just did that Phantom Dust release today, where they made an original Xbox game available on... I think you can play it on PC as well as Xbox. So, if they want to work out a deal with Sega, where they bring back Jet Set Radio and have it playable on PC, even if it's through the Microsoft Store, you got me. Like, I'm back in. Like, okay, Microsoft. We bros again.
You want to play Jet Set Radio Future?
I played a very small amount of that. I never played it on the original Xbox hardware. I only played it on 360. That emulation is fucking garbage. It is so slow.
You say that. I remember trying to play Jet Set Radio Future on a demo kiosk and thinking, this is really slow and heavy compared to the original Jet Set Radio.
No. I just mean like the frame rate. It chugged on the 360 emulation. It might be better now. I don't know. But, like, you know, I've got my Xbox hooked up upstairs. Maybe I should go check it out at some stage. But, oh man, did it chug.
I want, like, a skeleton of Professor K. He's still around.
Dude, Professor K was, like... Oh, he was my favorite. He was, like... He got me into that, like, culture. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah. He's old in Jet Set Radio Future.
So. I know. Dude, whatever, just... I don't even need it to be Jet Set Radio Future. Set it somewhere in between. Like, set it Jet Set Radio, I don't know, midlife crisis. Just, I don't need it.
Days of Future Past.
Yes, Jet Set Radio Days of Future Past. Why not? You know, I'd be down for that. Like, the Jet Set Radio, the prequel.
If you find out how Beat lost the...
Lost the GGs? The GGs.
GGs.
It's so good!
Yeah, you find out how he lost it all and went into exile.
Oh, that would be so awesome. Dude, he must have fucked up his tagging so bad. And another honorable mention, I want to give it to Sega Gaga. That game needs to come back.
Which one, sorry?
Sega Gaga.
Ah, yes.
The game where you play as a kid that needs to turn Sega around by making weird Sega games.
I feel like somebody is playing that in real life right now.
So do I, and I like what they're doing. Like, that game has the weirdest plot. It's like, Sega are like, This is our development building. No one goes in or out. Sometimes we throw our developers food and they'll produce a game, but no one knows how. It's up to you to go in and find out what they're doing and motivate them. Ugh. Like, it's all tongue-in-cheek. It's super weird. It's a weird RPG where you have to insult people to make them work. And then it ends with a shmup where you have to fight the ever-evolving consoles of Sega history to make Sega the best again? It didn't make a lot of sense. Okay, anyway, so what's your...
Things got weird while the Dreamcast was dying.
It really did. It felt... You know what? Maybe
that's where Res came from.
Yeah, it's like a fever dream of the dying breath of the Dreamcast.
Seaman, Res, Sigagaka.
Dude, the Dreamcast is so good. It's so good.
They're all just dying dreams of the Dreamcast.
Man, that I want to see a series about that so bad now. Okay. Tell me,
Okay.
what was your runner-up? Because I won't let you have climax. Or I won't let you have a climax game and call it a Sega game. Fuck you.
This one might be even harder then.
Okay. Will I accept this?
I want a sequel to Blood Will Tell.
I think
Some with Suzuka's Dororo.
How? Didn't that game wrap up? Don't you get all your parts back?
Yes.
What are they going to do?
Here's the trick.
They
called it Blood Will Tell. That is now a series name. Because that title has nothing to do with the original Dororo.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. So, I like the concept of that game. I think what I want is more like a... This is just me fucking around. I kind of want like an open world feudal Japan game. Like,
I don't need it to be open world. I love that game's like design,
weird level structure.
Just the levels and like the going back to find secret bosses.
I put it to you that the modern day Blood Will Tell is Neo. I feel like you got that game already, and you're being unfair. Let someone else have a chance.
No, I don't know, because you're not getting like slow power-ups as you go through Neo.
Yes, you are. What are you talking about? That's all the Kodamas are. And you're animal spirits.
Yeah, but those are mostly just switch-outs, like to get you different powers. It's not like, hey, you got your arm back, so here's just a plus 20 to strength.
No, but you get a sword. You get a new magic sword that's a plus 20 to strength.
But that sword is not the sword that used to be in my arm. Now that it's grown back, I can put it in a handle.
I don't know. I feel like you're being greedy. I don't like it. You got Neo. It's time for my game. Open world feudal samurai game. Oh, no, not you know what? Not even feudal samurai. I want it like set right at the. Oh, okay. When is Oh god, what the hell is it called? Kenshin set. What year is that? It's 1870, I think.
What, Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah, Rurouni Kenshin. I think that's set around 1870, right? Because I think it's after the war. I'm not.
And to the Meiji period.
I think so. I want it set around that era. Basically, I want it set around when Kenzan is set. But I want to play as a dojo buster kind of person, where you go from town to town, you fight, you get to a town, that dojo in that town has a like all their students are out on the prowl trying to prove themselves, and then you have to fight your way through them to the dojo. Then you bust the dojo, become the king of that dojo, and then you move on to the next one. I want a Red Dead Redemption, but set in samurai times. Give me something like that.
I would put it to you that we've had 4 Way of the Samurai games.
I put it to you that those games aren't very good. And
that doesn't matter.
And
we had 4 of them.
There is not a lot of like... those games are so weird, dude. Have you ever played one?
Yeah, I got like 3/4 of the way through Way of the Samurai 4 and then dropped off. It's a lot of restarting and sleeping through 3 days.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Because it's the only way to get to path 5.
Oh, good times. I love those games. I think that they're weird and stupid, and I love them.
I have a love-hate relationship with them. I want to like them,
Yeah.
and they're a lot better, but you have to like grind out sword fusions
Ugh,
like
yeah.
the first 20 hours just to be able to beat like random thugs on the street.
Yeah. I felt the exact same way about Dead Rising. Anyway, so I think that just about wraps it up. I think with that's our definitive list of what Sega should bring back. So Sega, if you're listening, make it happen. You know, we're sick of waiting.
Work out a deal with the estate of Osamu Tezuka. Give
Bring
me a
back
re-release of
Astro
Blood
Boy.
Will Tell.
No, bring back Astro Boy. Like GBA Astro Boy, published by Sega. Like, who made that game? Was it Dimps? I can't
It was
remember.
Treasure.
Oh,
It was
fuck, no,
Treasure.
it was Treasure.
Yeah,
Dude,
the best guys of all time.
Dude, that game is so good. If anyone's out there and wants to play a good ass Sega game, Sega Treasure game, track down Astro Boy on the GBA. That game is fucking sick. Like I
Astro
cannot,
Boy Amiga Factor.
dude. That I wasn't
So good.
expecting how good that game was. Like that's just another one of those games that no one's played and is just amazing.
It's a treasure trove of Osamu Tezuka characters and plot lines.
Yeah. Oh,
No Dororo. So
was Blackjack in
loses
it?
several points in my book. Yes, Blackjack is in it.
Oh, perfect. Damn, I found
Blackjack, that princess who pretends to be a boy.
Oh, I can't remember who that is.
Phoenix
but-
shows up at the end. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that game is so good. That game is so good. I'm still currently going through my list of PlayStation games here, trying to prove you that this game exists. I cannot find it anywhere. I'm gonna go load up my PlayStation right now. As soon as we're done this podcast, I'm gonna find out what the hell this game is. So
But if you want to be extremely disappointed after playing Amiga Factor on the GBA, play the PS2 version.
that game
Just based
sucks.
off that terrible anime they did.
Yeah, that game really sucks.
Yeah.
So,
You go from one of the greatest Astro Boy games to one of the worst.
but like, it's not even like the greatest Astro Boy games. That game's just good. Like that's just a good ass video game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wish Treasure would make more of those.
Does Treasure still exist? Are they still making games?
We had Gunstar Superheroes on the GBA. I don't know what they did after. I don't imagine they're still around.
I'm gonna look that up too. Anyway, so I'm gonna wrap this up here. We're a little bit over time today, but that's not too bad. Any time that we can talk about Sega and just shoot this shit about any kind of Sega games, you're gonna get me talking. We didn't even talk about Sonic Forces, and I have lots to say on Sonic Forces. I'm gonna make so many OC Sonic characters do not steal.
Oh, you will not be stealing my OCs.
Oh, my OCs will rival your OCs. They are the best OCs. Deacon the Hedgehog will ride again. Oh man,
I think you forget about Lachfang the Wolf.
Lachfang the Wolf is not going to happen because Deacon the
Oh,
Hedgehog.
he's going to be stronger than you could ever
Lachfang.
imagine.
It just took a second. The name just registered with me. Lachfang the Wolf. What is wrong with you? Okay, so I'm gonna go prove you wrong that this game exists on the PlayStation 3.
Please do, because I want more Landstalker wherever I can get it.
Okay, I'm going to find it out. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Again, if you want to hear more of me, you can find me at YakFan on Twitter. Lachlan, if they want to hear more from you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Rostaschenberg.
Okay, now how did they spell that?
That's ROSTICHE
Uh-huh.
NBURG.
Okay, I'm glad you kept it simple. You know, one of the things I said when you came on today was, Lachlan, quickly go change your Twitter handle, because it's awful. And you said, no. I will keep my Twitter handle.
I did not say no. I said, I have nothing better.
I believe you said how. I was like, I don't know. Anyway, so again, I just want to say, let me know in the comments what Sega series you guys would like to see return. There is tons of them. Go Google what Sega has in their stock, because I think you'll be surprised at the sheer amount of titles Sega has. Don't put Shenmue. Shenmue's already coming. Don't be greedy. It's already happening. Don't say Shenmue HD either. That's being greedy. I don't like that. So, yeah, that wraps up here. Lachlan, thank you again. It's been a blast.
No worries.
Perfect. And we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.